Gotta get the dance on here. Bop, bop, bop. Bottle, bottle, beep, bop. Beep, bop, bop. Bottle, bottle, beep, bop. Tony Holfeld is here. Hey, it's Tornado himself. Hi. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm surprised I was able to launch it okay here, but we shall find out. Hello, Revy Gunslinger. Kara, member of the Storm, is here. Hello. Spam. That's a dangerous username. Well, hey. Growing Daisies, Birth Doula, hey. There's a question mark in there. Exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Beautiful Drea, finally alive. Glad to see you here. Pip, how you do? Nugs Dog 1, woohoo. Right back at ya. Caitlin from Manchester, UK, hello there. Becky, how are you doing? Alexa, hello. Growing Daisies, so excited to be here. Good, I'm excited you're here too. And I'm excited to be here. Mary, thank you. Happy 8 March times 2. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Joshua Sharp, hello. Andrea, hi there. Carla, hi. Angel, member of the Storm, hello. Jody, hello. Hala, holla. Hello from Austria. Very good to have you here. L. Davis with the lightning bolts. Heck yeah, spam lives dangerously. As you should with a name like that. Gayla, it's good to see you. Mary, thank you so much for the caps. Runner Girl, howdy from Oklahoma. You're a stone's throw from me there, Uncle Buddy. How are you doing? Donna, thank you so much for sharing the live. Genevieve D with the lightning bolt. Hello there. Andrea's here. Amanda's here. User lots of numbers from Nottingham, UK is here. Kay Nalangan, it's here as well. Waving right back at ya. Karen, good to see you. Krista Scarlett. Sin, Heather, good to see you. Nova's World here. We've got Tammy here. We've got Diana Vera. With all of them starstruck emojis. Hi there. Steph is here. Captain Inappropriate. Candy Thunder. She doesn't typically jump on lives. She's handling kiddo pickup stuff right now. We also have Ava has cheer tryouts tonight. It's like a week-long affair now. It's not like a one session audition thing. They do like a week-long thing. So she's running the logistics for the fam. Georgia, it's good to see you there. Oh, unstable internet connection. Cool. So sorry if we get a little wonky there. Let me try to kill some programs. I forgot I had to do that before. We will do that. Make sure nothing is syncing on the Google Drive side. Kill some of these other programs here too. Maybe that'll help. Just maybe. Just maybe. Adobe Creative Cloud. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right, I'll catch back up here. Steph, it's good to see you. Georgia, good to see you. Carla, Tippy, Heather, Karen, good to see you. SLC BLS, hey, you finally got on alive. I'm glad to see you here. Mary, look at you from Pittsburgh. Nice. Selena, I'm glad you caught the live too. Lucinda, it's good to see you. Megan, good to see you here. Vix the Llama, good to see you. Anja from Norway. Wow. Is it Anja? Is that how it's pronounced? I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. All right, user 9500059 trucker from Middle Tennessee. Love me some Tennessee. Libra, it's good to see you here from London. Wow. Heather J with the mustache and the hat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Megan with the roses. Thank you so much. Navy Thunder doesn't do it so much anymore, but for the longest time, whenever she saw flowers, she wouldn't even get close to them. She would just go like she was smelling them from a distance. It's awfully cute. Ghosts and Getaways from Weatherford, Texas. Good to see you here. Donna McKenzie, hello from Scotland. So nice to see you. Shannon, how are you? Kim from Australia. Good to see you here. Bella, hi there. Diana's from Texas. Nice. Santa's here. Shaz is here. Amy Kelly is here. Hey, Taco My Salad. Wow. Subscribe for month 2. Thank you for resubbing. Appreciate that. Boo from Detroit. How are you there? Amy is here in California. Wow. Angel with the happy 8th March day. Thank you so much. One person, CB Lair. Hello. I'm still getting some messages about my my stream quality, my internet quality here. So I'll try to kill a couple more things. I don't have much more I can kill though. So hopefully we just stabilize at some point here. Hey, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Love seeing you here. Jess from Saskatchewan, Iris Matthews from Tampa Bay, Sin with a Rose, Amy with a Rose. Thank you so much. Your mom shared the live. Wow. You just wanted me to say that out loud. The one person shared the live. Thank you so much. Becky with a finger heart. Thank you. All right. I'm way behind now. Sorry. I'm trying to catch up on everybody, but that's tough. And I got a long ways to scroll there. It is so good to see you all. So thank you so much for joining. If you were on last week and that stream abruptly ended, I released a story about it afterwards. We won't go into it here because we don't want to risk the same thing happening. So we're just going to play it safe. But so glad to see you all here. Remember to throw some lightning bolts up. That's how we show love here. And we have some good stories for you today. Before we get into that, a few announcements and a few reminders. The new Dusty Thunder brand will be rolling out on April 1st, and we'll go ahead and throw it up just as a reminder if you have not seen it, or as a reminder if you have, and to show you if you haven't. This is what it's going to look like. We've got all kinds of stuff in development right now. Vita, thank you so much for becoming a member of the Storm and subscribing there. We are rolling out a new website, rolling out new brand everything, so it's going to be fun. April 1st is our target for that, so we are actively working on it. And with that, I am curious to know, we're going to have at least a couple of new swag items. We don't know for sure what we're going to do yet, though. So what swag items do you for sure want to see? Shirts are kind of a given, but like stickers, fanny packs, coasters, I don't know. Fanny packs probably aren't going to be a thing that we do, but Vita, I pronounced your name right? Well, I hope I did it a second time. Tony Holfeld also joining from Uranus. That's from Schmutz. From our good buddy Josh there. Yeah, let us know what other kind of swag you really, really want to see with the new Dusty Thunder brand. We're going to have some Ascon stuff, of course. I really think that we need to come out with some kind of bumper sticker that you can put on other people's car, like I'm an Ascon or Ascon 1 or something like that. Also, the next podcast guest is still kind of up in the air, but we're trying to talk Tony into being the guest here. And we had a discussion about this last night, Candy Thunder and I. And Candy Thunder says, so would we call him Tony Thunder? And I'm like, we can't call him Tony Thunder, but he's got to be some kind of storm-themed name, right? And then that's when I came up with the name Tornado. But as we've talked about it today, we figured out that that's a terrible name. So we need your help coming up with something better. Some other storm-themed name for Tony. It just can't be Tornado. Or maybe it can. If that's what wins, that's what wins. Ooh, a keychain or plushie. Extra large oversized Thunderhole hoodies. That would be cool. Ascon 1 should be an ugly red color. Yeah, we kind of have it like a magenta-y pink color, but it's in brand right now. So that's the tough part. So Tony is nervous about doing the podcast. So you got to show him some lightning bolt love and tell him how much you really, really, really want him to be on the podcast. He would be great. He'd be fantastic. And he's really familiar with all the stories and everything already. So he's a natural fit. We just have to talk him into it or trick him into it or something. So give Tony some love there. Tony Lightning. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Tornado should win, Raven says. I think he's a little opposed. What happens if they ban TikTok in the States? We're actively trying to grow the YouTube side of things, and that's already a mission of ours, but we have the same kind of content. Hey, wait a second. Was that Candy Thunder that I saw up there? There she is. Candy Thunder is in the chat, everybody. Lightning bolts for Candy Thunder. She is here. Look at that. I think YouTube will probably be our go-to. We might start using Insta to start posting more normal videos as well. So we'll make sure we've got landing spots ready for you if something does happen. I don't think it's going to happen, though. It could. And if it does, we've got backups. We got backups on backups on backups. We just use those other platforms differently right now, and we'll just have to pivot. We'll pivot. Hey, Babesita, thank you so much. Swampy, you found us on YouTube. Awesome. Excellent. Look at all the lightning bolts here. I feel so loved. These are for Tony, though. These are for Tornado. Those are for you, Tornado. He's shaking his head. Shaking his head. What a considered twitch. So at some point, and I might get kicked off just for saying this, but the ultimate goal is to multi-stream and be everywhere. We can't do that until we get a stream key for TikTok. And you don't just get a stream key for TikTok. You have to go through this application process. And at first, they give you the TikTok live stream platform. So it's TikTok Live Studio platform. You have this program that you have to install and use to stream from your PC for TikTok until there's not even a criteria for it. It's some kind of random thing where you just end up with a stream key at some point. And if I do, then we'll definitely start multi-streaming. We might do it anyway. One of the things that I have to mention to you here is to make sure that you're subscribed on the YouTube channel, because we've actually started to do some lives there while I'm doing recording sessions for the normal posts that we do weekly. I normally do those on a Sunday night, but past couple of weeks it's been like Monday night or Tuesday night, just depends. But I've decided to just do random surprise lives on YouTube while I'm recording those. So it's been a whole lot of fun. We've had a small crowd of people there each time, but if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you go subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get that alert whenever I do go live there. So far, it's been in the middle of the night, like midnight Central Time. One time was earlier, but Zoe listening in England. So good to have you there. The Tony plus Twister. Tony Twister's not bad. Hey, Babesita, thank you so much for the chili bookie to cookie. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Babesita, thank you for the TikToks and the ice cream and the mini speaker and the cloud bread and the roses and the finger hearts. Heck yeah. Thank you so much. Nisi, good to see you here. Another member of the storm has come back. Baby Cakes, thank you so much for the color props here. Jesse, who is the badass designer of the new Dusty Thunder brand, is buzzing around here. Taking photos, candid in-action photos that we can use on the new website. So I tried to wear a color that would work well with the new website, and also not wear a shirt that we're not selling anymore. So there's that. Oh, let's see here. Candy Thunder's, she's all over the place. Look at her. Look at Candy Thunder there. Candy Thunder swung by the studio here with Navy Thunder, like maybe an hour before the stream, and was dropping something off for me. And Navy Thunder, I thought would be really happy to see me, but turns out she really just wanted to get out of the car, and she thought she was coming in, but they had somewhere else to be. So she was just mad the whole time. It was pulling at her car seat like, no. So, even when she's all pissed off though, she's just super cute. Hey, yeah. Josh Mutz actually gave me this shirt. It's my Zero Foxtrot from Josh. I'm a big fan. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Muchas gracias. All right. So to recap the announcements and reminders there, Dusty Thunder brand, April 1st. Jessie is the badass designer that came up with that. And if you hear the clicking sounds around me, it's because she's buzzing around taking photos. Currently standing on a chair looking 9 feet tall. There she is. Hello. And she also doesn't want to be shown. So, she'll be like the Stig. We're going to put a mask on her anytime we put her on camera. The Stig of the Dusty Thunder channel. And Tony, we're trying to twist his arm to get to do the podcast, and make sure you're subscribed to YouTube, because we are doing surprise lives there. And there's also compilations that come out every Wednesday. So there's that. Yeah, yes. I think we've got 7 stories for today. Sorry, I bumped into the table here with the water. Greeting cards. Sin, that's a great idea. I would actually create some kind of message inside too, though. Not blank ones. It would be like a greeting card that you open up and it's like, hey, you're an asshole. Something like that. Let me get caught up here real quick. Pip, thank you so much. I'm glad that you love the videos. We're having a lot of fun doing them. Yvonne Lightning McTony. Whoa. Lightning McTony is pretty good. Then you got to come up with some ka-chow, but like a lightning version, your own Tony version. Hurricane Tony. That's pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Ronnie, member of the storm. Welcome back here. Danielle. Jenny, thank you for the rose and the finger hearts and the balloons. Hurricane Tony. Yep. The greeting cards is a damn good idea. Alexa, thank you for subbing on YouTube. Appreciate that. Brandy, thank you for the fire. Tony Spark. Ooh. Tony Spark is pretty damn good. That's really damn good. Josh says, but how old does she look? Assume he's referring to Jesse. He's playing in dangerous territory there, man. You playing in dangerous territory. Holly, thank you so much for the hat and mustache. Yeah, Dragon X, yes, this is an MXL 770 that I've got here. I use a Rode NTA1 in my VO booth for the actual voiceovers that I cut for radio and TV and that kind of thing. But here at the desk, I use the MXL 770. That is correct. And this curved pop shield is just an Amazon find. Holikens, thank you so much for the sunnies. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to scroll way down here and try to get us rocking and rolling. So Tony Spark here has curated some good stories for us to read today. Tony Spark may stick. That's pretty damn good. That's one you got to be happy about too, because it's cool AF. As F. I'm trying to make as F a thing. It's like it's an old Clueless throwback, but it's AF too. As F. All right, this one is from the AITA Reddit subreddit, and it is, am I the astronaut for refusing to help my daughter with her car payment because she is a stripper? Yeah, he had to put this one first. I, 47 male, have a 22-year-old daughter. She's in college and lives on campus. I agreed to help her make her car payments since she was in school. I was recently informed by a young man I work with that my daughter strips at a club about 40 minutes away. I confronted her on this and she said she didn't plan to do it after she graduated and she needed some money. I told her then work at McDonald's, not use her body. We got into an argument and I asked her to quit stripping and get a decent job then. She refused and said stripping was easy money. So basically I said there was no need for me to pay her car payment anymore since she is making money so easily. She got upset and said that wasn't fair and that she doesn't make enough for that. I told her to figure it out. She told my wife about what happened and my wife is upset by her job of choice, but says it's unfair for me to stop supporting her so suddenly over an argument. I think it's perfectly fair. It's my money and my decision when to cut it off. And that's the end of the story. What do you think? The initial question was, am I the astronaut for refusing to help my daughter with her car payment because she is a stripper? Danielle says, I wouldn't pay it either. She probably makes more money than Papa Bear now. This is a split one. I knew this would be a split one. Get that money, honey. Mama wants to retire. Oh, gosh. If she works somewhere else, would he help? Deb says, probably. I think on the fence, yes and no. So, I mean, I've got no problem with choosing that as a way to make money. I mean, obviously people do it. Obviously there's a demand for it. And obviously it's a way to make an asinine amount of money with minimal effort and minimal clothing, apparently. But also, I mean, if I put myself in OP's position here, I would be extremely uncomfortable if someday, found out my daughters were doing this kind of thing. But instead of saying, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then I'm not going to help you, I would probably take the opposite approach and be like, what do you need so that you don't have to do that? Because if she needed money and was willing to go this route and now he's taking help away from her, she needs more money. What is she going to do now? It's like he's kind of pushing her further in this direction. And I mean, there is a deeper path there for her to explore, and she could, and I wouldn't want her to need to do that. I I wouldn't want to push her any further down that path. I'd be trying to pull her back out of that path so she didn't have to do that kind of thing. Yeah, and I get his response about being caught off guard. I don't know that taking help away is the play, though. I think you want to remove her from the situation, not push her further into it. Ugh. People in med school do this. It doesn't define her. Yeah, I mean, there's people have all kinds of reasons for doing it, and the people who do it, could be wonderful people, and they make really good money doing it. They provide for their families doing it. I don't think that's in question here. But when it's your kid, I think you obviously have different feelings about it. And if I were in that position, I think I would just try to find a way to help in a different way or help more so she didn't have to do it. It is her choice. It is her choice, Kara. You're right. It is her choice to do that kind of thing. But if she feels like that's her only choice, then let's try to create some more choices so there are at least options there. Yeah, except that it doesn't make her a bad person for trying to earn money. Chuck says, don't take help away. Use it as a conversation of how to further help. And Oro T-Bird says, to further your point, Dusty, is she doing it to pay bills or to buy lavish things? That's a good point. She said she needed the money. We don't know what for. I mean, it could just be for survival, for food, for gas, for that kind of thing. He's helping make the car payment, but that's it. If that's the only thing he's helping pay for. And also school. I mean, if they aren't paying her way in college, then school's tough. And working and putting yourself through school is even tougher. So if that is the case and she found a way that takes a minimal time so she can still focus on schoolwork and pay her way through school and have money to survive, then I get it. Chaz says she chose that job knowing some days are better than others. She should know to save. Hopefully she has saved. But what is the full situation? Is she at university still in education, or does she just want more money? She says she's not going to do it after she graduates. At least that's her plan. He did say get a different job if you need extra money, assuming he'd still pay with another job. Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. He also made a rash decision here. He made a reflex decision instead of taking time to let it ferment. And I mean, as a dad, I would obviously be bothered by it, but instead of judging, I would try to just create more paths that are available. I say it's easy to say that now. You know what I mean? It's easy to say that in this situation where I'm on the outside looking in and I'm focused on solution paths. And if this happened to me and in the heat of the moment, I might react differently. But I'd like to think that I would handle it well and be able to process it. And there was a really good point up here. Let me see if I can find it. Hazel Love says, I just don't understand why people are okay with something until it's their family involved. And that is a damn good point. And I think this is, at least for me, it's a choice. And a lot of people make that choice. A lot of people make the choice because they don't have any other choices, or they don't think that they do. And if one of our daughters was entertaining that path, I would just try to make sure that there were as many other choices available as possible. Yeah, McDonald's was probably not the best alternative for him to suggest, because, the income comparison between working at McDonald's for her and what she probably makes stripping her. It's a stark contrast. And maybe he just needs some time to process and then come back and revisit it. You got to be, I don't know. There's got to be a delicate balance to that situation and how you handle it. I mean, because there is a definite danger of driving your daughter away and just burning a bridge, or there's a way. Tony Stark contrast, Danielle. There you go. And when I said Stark, I almost said no pun intended, but Kenworth guy, yes, I am a Missouri dude. McDonald's doesn't care if the employees get attacked by the customers. We've seen a lot of videos like that. Call centers are an option. Yeah, and maybe it's a time thing. Maybe it's a, I'm assuming that it is a like a late night shift kind of approach there, and maybe that doesn't interfere with school. I'm sure there are a lot of options for it. But lots of love from Ireland. Thank you, Fiona. I appreciate that. PJax, yeah. There are some problems with her story here where she claims she doesn't make that much money, not even enough to pay her own car payment. Maybe she only does it like once a week or something. I think it's the general. Could OP have handled it better? Yes. So with that in mind, let's take a look here and see where OP is on the ascon scale. As a reminder, ascon 1 is the worst and ascon 4 is the least amount of asshole. Ascon 1 is there's no way you should have done that. You're a terrible human being. Ascon 2 is you definitely shouldn't have done it, but it doesn't make you a terrible person. Ascon 3 is you probably should have approached that differently. And ascon 4 is you probably could have approached that differently. Not should have, but could have. Maybe you're an asshole and maybe you're not. So what do you think? Yeah, Jeanette, I thought it was interesting that he just said he was informed by a young man that he works with that his daughter was stripping. Obviously, he's not going to judge his coworker for that, but his daughter, sure. Tracy, thank you for that feedback. I appreciate it. Jerry May, listen while cooking dinner. Nice. Hope you're cooking up something good. Bettina, thank you so much. Kara says ascon 3. Deb says 3. Victoria says 4. PJack says 4. Chicken Tender says A2. Random person says 3. 3s and 4s, 3s and 4s, 3s and 3s. 4 possibly says Brandy, a member of the Storm. Bettina, thank you so much. From Denmark, love listening to my voice. Thank you. 3s and 4s, 3s and 4s, 3s and 4s. Not on the scale, someone says. I think because of, first of all, the definitions on this scale were written on a whim. And this scale we came up with on a whim. So at some point we may need to adjust definitions, but we haven't yet. So far it's been, we've stuck with them. And I think if you look at the difference between 3 and 4, 4 is you could have done that differently. 3 is you should have done that differently. And I think in this case, he's definitely a 3 because he should have approached it differently. And if that was only just taking some time to process it before, hey, Shay, thank you for becoming a member of the Storm and subbing. Appreciate that. If he took some time to process it, he probably would have approached this differently. And I think that's the big kicker here. When it's your kid, you want to make sure that you don't drive them away with this and give them at least more options. Illuminate paths for them instead of shutting them down. And I think that's what he did. What he did out of haste and really didn't think about what the consequences of his choice were. Because if she did that thinking that was her best shot to make more money and he took support away from her, now she needs to make even more. So either she's going to have to strip more nights per week or go even deeper down that path. And that's the part I would be afraid of. Like, never feel the need to have to explore that path further. She's going to end up with an OnlyFans account in no time. And he can avoid it. Ruger says, I'm so level-headed. Sure, when I'm talking about other people's problems. It's different. It's different when it's your own drama, right? It's hard to process it like that. Morning from the Philippines. Hello there. So I'm on a solid 3 here. 3. Should have done it differently. And it may be worse. He may be worse than that, but trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here and think about as a parent where that gut reaction came from. It definitely should have been handled differently. I don't think he's a terrible person for it. I think he just doesn't realize what he's doing. And is probably, like someone said here, thinking about, his little girl and reacting as he would have, if she were 12 or as a kid, instead of thinking about her as an adult and her being able to make her own decisions and him shaping those decisions through his actions. Hey, Jana, thank you so much for the Franktastic. Appreciate that. It's not his choice what she does with her body. You're right. You're right. Pip, thank you so much for the love for the voice. I appreciate that. It's the only one I got. I actually have several voices, but this is the one I use. Ronnie, thank you so much for resubbing. Appreciate that. Bex, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Hey, Michelle's watching from Vancouver. Oh, we love our Canadians. Y'all are so nice and funny. We appreciate your style of humor. Lynn, hey there, member of the storm. Aw, Candy Thunder says that Navy Thunder says hi, Dada. Is she watching? Is she watching the stream? Hey, Navy Bear. Hi, baby girl. I hope she's happy now and not mad anymore. Alaska. Charlie says, hey, it's the age stalker from Australia. Candy Thunder and I talked about that, actually. It's really funny. And the context of that conversation was really how cutting my long hair off took like 10 years off of my face. Apparently, my longer hair was making me look a lot older somehow. And once I got it cut, I now look quite a bit younger. But Candy Thunder loves to talk about how cool it is that people think she's so much younger than I am, and about how I married up. Those have been frequent topics of conversation in the Thunder House here lately. Oh, man. It's funny. It's funny. And, I mean, you guys, I think most of you guys have seen Candy Thunder on the podcast and in, like, Insta videos and that kind of thing. She is younger. She's not a lot younger than I am. I just age like a wizard, apparently. Ho-wo from Oklahoma. Hey there. We've got Tag You're It from Texas. Unfortunately, they say. Kim from Minnesota. Good to see you here. Ridge Lady from Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. Beer Today is here. Beer Today is my brother-in-law, James. He was a podcast guest way back. You got to throw him some lightning bolts there. Just me, I did lose some weight as well. I've probably lost close to 20 pounds since I started doing this, but I think once I got my hair cut, I lost another 20. I have a lot of hair. Very thick hair. Lots of it. So when I did get my hair cut, it was like a giant pile of hair down there. Hi, D1027. Thank you so much for the Galaxy. I appreciate that. Emily Nicole says, first time catching live. When do you usually go live? Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Central has been the schedule for here so far. We may end up changing that at some point, but that's what it is for now. You hate when your hubby, Angel says she hates when her hubby shaves for that reason. Oh, that was a response there. Sorry. I'm missing parts of the conversation here. We got Beer Today. We got Candy Thunder. We got Tony up in the chat as well. Tony Spark. That's where we're at. Brian from Buffalo, New York. Not mad at me for being a Kansas City fan. Appreciate that, man. Not mad at you for being a Buffalo fan. At least we represented. You know, it's if your team loses in playoffs and then that team loses the next round, that's, I think, stings worse. But if they take it all the way, then you're solid. Oh, Brat, thank you so much for the hat and mustache. Appreciate that. We're just catching up on some comments right now before we dive into the next story. Kalissa, thank you so much for loving the content. Rach said, my mom overheard the last story during Women's Month? Jennifer's an Eagles fan and still loves watching us. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. And thank you for Andy Reid. We appreciate that too. Haley with the Chiefs Kingdom. Emily with the Chiefs Kingdom here. Western New York Angel says being a Buffalo fan is hard. Yeah. If I shaved my beard, I would probably look 12, but we'll never know because that'll never happen. It will never, ever, ever happen. But apparently I learned my lesson on the long hair. I'm still going to grow it out in the fall, but I'll just have to keep in mind that I look old when I do it. Ashley says, favorite is when I channel Moira Rose. I'm sure it'll come out. I'm sure it will. Randy says, Alaska in the house. We've got Misty Mountains here. Hello. It's good to see you. Bernie from Ireland. Wow. Good to see you. Megan from Oklahoma. Good to see you here. Oingo Boingo says my voice is so soothing. Thank you. Jules wanted to see the Bills in the Super Bowl. It's going to happen eventually. I mean, they're just too good of a damn team. Too damn good of a team. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next story here. Let me get a sip of water. Okay. This one is from the subreddit, the Dusty Thunder Reddit community. And this one is, am I the astronaut for making my husband ditch a female friend? My husband, male 49, makes friends with everyone and is very outgoing. I, female 44, am not as outgoing. My husband made friends with this girl, female 20, who is the same age as our oldest daughter. He started bringing her around the house, referring to her as his other daughter, and bringing her to family events like Christmas and Thanksgiving. Is that insta creepy? Should we go ahead and throw some red flags here? Insta ick. Her family is rather rude to her, and so she doesn't have a great relationship with them, according to both of them. She is a novice tattoo artist, was doing some community college and working at a restaurant while her parents paid her rent and helped her out financially. But her family's rude to her? I started to notice patterns, like my husband wanting to hang out with her alone, and it taking an hour and a half to pick her up when she lives only 15 minutes away. Oh, this is going to be one of those run out of red flag stories, isn't it? It is. It's going to be one of those. My husband and I have a mostly great relationship. He is loving and good, a great father and my best friend. I am a bit jealous, mostly because earlier in our relationship that he cheated on me. I eventually forgave him and we have moved on. But things about this girl just didn't add up, and I had no idea what an almost 50-year-old man had in common with a 20-year-old kid. She's nice enough, I don't dislike her, but when she's around me, she tends to be very quiet and not talkative, despite the fact that my husband told me that she loves to do art and would enjoy spending time with me, as I love art as well. I just felt very uncomfortable about the relationship and finally told my husband that I had enough when I noticed patterns of him spending a lot of time with her, whether it was in my family home or at her apartment. Am I a fool for thinking that he's just trying to father her? We had a daughter, 17, who moved out of our house and into her biological father's house under less than ideal circumstances, who my husband was also very close to. It was after that that he found this girl, and I never noticed anything that I would consider flirting or sexual going on. I just felt very uncomfortable and told him that he would have to let her go on her own. We take a family Christmas picture every year, and she even managed to work her way into that, despite the fact that I said family only. She felt entitled to sit in the picture. I just don't know what's going on, and I feel better now that she's not part of our life. He will occasionally say something like he wonders how she's doing, but as far as I know, he doesn't communicate with her anymore. I've checked his phone. So, am I the astronaut for making him drop this girl? What are your thoughts on this one? There's a tornado siren going off somewhere. Get away. Sarah. Keep perceptible issues above reproach, Beer Today says. That is a damn good idea. Yeah, there are several questions that I think we have here, but I was surprised when reading throughout this story, even after the title where she says, "Am I the astronaut for making my husband ditch a female friend?" So we knew that she was going to make him. He did it, and he said he just wonders how she's doing. Now, they could be communicating through something that she can't check, but she was monitoring how much time he was spending with her. And I'm curious to know what they were doing when they were spending a lot of time together. I mean, even if he was fathering her, she's 20. Like, what are they watching? New Girl, or what are they doing? When they hang out, what are they doing? And I don't know. I mean, he could have been sugar daddying this. I don't know. I think she was obviously right to be concerned about it. She never got any kind of flirting or sexual vibe, and he brought her around. So this is confusing. This is a confusing thing. Spending time alone at her apartment is inappropriate, Allimander says. And yeah, that would be a giant red flag. Or so, what are they doing? What are they doing? Lottie says, just curious as to where you're from. I am a Missouri boy. How does she not pick up the red flags that are literally everywhere? I think she did, but she's obviously paying very close attention, or had paid very close attention, and that's why she told him to get rid of her. Amber, thank you so much for the cloud bread. Appreciate that. I don't want to be you says, I want to know what happened to the daughter that gives off bad vibes. I mean, they just say it was very less than ideal circumstances. And I mean, with a 17-year-old kid, one of the dangers of having, or the complications of having a blended family and parents in separate homes is that, you know, at some point they get the choice of, if they get pissed off or don't like the way that things are going at one place, to decide to go stay with the other parent. And depending on how those parents co-parent together and how they get along, you know, some parents will allow that to happen, and she could be playing that game. Who knows? We don't know what happened there, but she said that he was close with her as well. I wonder if he was close with her like this, like spending a ton of time together, spending time at her apartment. And then I don't know, were they just hanging out? At least he agreed to it. Assuming that he actually followed through here, and yeah, there are a lot of comments here that they're saying he's not followed through. He's just hiding it better now, which is entirely possible. Angel, thank you so much for the Hutao. And Kaylana Renee, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate that. There's a lot missing here. There was just an apparent issue, but he supposedly let it go. And maybe whenever she explained it to him, she just told him that it was obviously a bad optics, and obviously enough for her to be weirded out by. So if he truly let it go for that, then that's great. I'm so confused about what that relationship dynamic was actually like. Brandy Jean says, "Oh, have you never caught your favorite Chiefs fan live before? Well, welcome. We've been doing this weekly, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Central Time. Nursey Deer, sorry. Yeah, it's tough whenever you jump into streams like this because we read the stories and then we talk about them. The 30-second recap on this was OP's husband befriended this 20-year-old girl and started calling her his other daughter and bringing her to family stuff, and then was hanging out with her at her apartment for extended periods of time. And OP basically made him ditch her, and he supposedly did it, and she just wants to make sure that she's not the asshole for making him drop this girl. Definitely not the ascon for making him do that. There's just so much more that we would like to know about what the hell was actually going on there. It gives ick vibes. Gives some big ick vibes. The call is coming from inside the house. Something is really not right. Brad, thank you for the roses. Alex, thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. Dean as well. Lottie, thanks for following. Appreciate that. If you guys have not followed yet, please do that. Share the stream if you feel so compelled. That definitely helps as well. There's some weird stuff about that story. She's not the asshole for making him stop that relationship, assuming he actually did, because what she was concerned about is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Beer Today says could have been a really good thing for the younger girl, but got to keep it proper and viewed as such. Yeah, I mean, really, what if he was just a father figure to her? It's the time together that makes that questionable in my mind. because if anybody here has teenagers, you know that, especially for a dad, like teenage girls, hanging out with dad isn't their favorite thing to do. It's not. Katie, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Stormborn. Oh, Daenerys Stormborn. Breaker of chains. You get on TikTok every single day just to watch my newest video. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Jenny from Germany. Hey there. All right. Tony's going to be my Vanna White assistant here for for this next part. Before we move on to the next story, I wanted to show you guys something and actually talk to you for a minute about Jot Coffee. I'm actually going to make one right in front of you here. This is going to be the cool part. So Jot, you've heard me talk about before, but Candy Thunder introduced me to Jot because she wanted me to stop spending so much money at giant bougie coffee places that we won't name. But here's what happened. I loved it because it's a coffee concentrate that I can literally in 30 seconds make my own coffee and not have to deal with the high price of that chain, not have to deal with the line, not have to deal with the time that it takes. So we actually reached out to them and became a partner with them. And now we've got a discount code, Dusty20, that you can use at jot.co. And they do have a subscription program. But here's the deal. Cup with ice, tablespoon. I really hope I don't screw this up because that would suck live. Also, I'm running low. Little tappity tap there. 8 ounces of water. Glug, glug, glug. You like the sound effects? Oh, my water's slightly frozen here. Get out of there. That's all right. And a splash of cream, which I have the non-dairy creamer, which, it's just funny that it's a Starbucks creamer, but that's what it is. Splash a little bit of cream in there as well. So we just do that. We give it a little stir up. And that's my Jot Coffee. It literally took that amount of time. I need to stir it up a little bit better. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. So it's 14 cups per bottle. You can do lattes. You can do cold brews. You can do Americanos. You can do all the fancy drinks that are hard to pronounce and not wait in line or pay stupid prices. And with code Dusty20, you can save 20% right meow. I haven't tried it hot, but it's supposed to be good hot. I am a huge fan of the iced coffee there because it is that quick and I can add whatever flavor I want to it and it is delish. Delish. Is it soy creamer? It is. It's a blend of almond milk and oat milk with flavors of sweet buttery caramel and vanilla to pair perfectly with coffee for an oh so delicious cup. There you go. They didn't know I was using it to try to pitch you on not drinking their stuff. Just the creamer. Yeah. I haven't tried it hot. I need to just to test it out, but it is so damn good. Ice though. Like the sugar with coffee and cream. You can make your own coffee concentrate with a toddy. Oh, Charlie, thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Katie in Alaska. Yeah, it needs the hot coffee. Understandable. I'll test it. I'll test a hot one for you. For you people who like that. My cup is full, Josh says. Not for long. See, Hopper. Just ordered the other day. Oh, you didn't know about the code? Damn, I'm sorry. I need to do a better job about talking about it more often and doing more posts about it. But Chuck says, I drink iced coffee even if it's negative degrees outside. I'm kind of with you there. I go through my hot coffee phases, though. I went through a several year phase where it was like first thing in the morning, I had to brew that hot cup of coffee. I think I know when it changed, actually. And it was when Navy Thunder was born, because making coffee in the morning is not a quiet process. It's noisy. So I think I stopped right then. Do they deliver it to Canada? I am not sure. But it's jot.co. And I want to say that they do. Angel, the code is Dusty20. Dusty20. They should deliver to Canada. Jot, JOT.co. CO. Nursey Deer catching the first live. All right. Good to have you here, Rachel. Thank you so much for loving the videos. We love doing them. I don't know that Miles, our intern, loves editing them because I screw up a lot, but they are fun to do. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump on the next one here. Kara says, what's the difference between milk and creamer? I don't think we have the latter in the UK. Oh, well, this one is a non-dairy creamer, and I think in general, the creamers may just be a little bit, I was going to say thicker than milk, but I don't know, maybe a little more creamier? I don't know. That's a good question. If anybody knows what the difference is between milk and, a normal dairy creamer, then please inform us. Michelle, so good to have you here. Blackhawk says, I'm actually not milking my cow for this live. I milked it earlier. Blackhawk, you should be the one to fill us in on the whole difference between milk and creamer. What is the different process time they use for creamer? CEO of Thunder Thighs sent a mate tea. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And CEO of Thunder Thighs. It's a good company name. Like that. Like that. All right. We're going to dive into this next one here, which is a follower submission. OP, if you happen to be in chat, feel free to raise your hand if you so choose. This is, am I the astronaut for not showing up to a cookout at my own house? For background, my 32 female boyfriend's 30 male, sister 30 female, and I were friends for a long time before I started dating her brother. It was her idea that we get together. But the moment we started getting more serious, her personality towards me completely changed. She lives out of state and wanted to visit, so we were kind enough to let her stay with us so long as she was respectful. She's been known to be very rude. Since she lives out of state and doesn't visit often, a family cookout was planned at our house so everyone could have a reunion with her. For context, my boyfriend has slept with a couple of her friends in the past, and she knew I wasn't comfortable with him maintaining contact with those girls. She decided to invite one girl, 26 female, in particular to the cookout who she knew I'd be completely upset over. My boyfriend informed her that he was against it and that it would hurt my feelings. He showed me what she texted back. F her feelings, I'm inviting her anyway. I was completely distraught that she'd do that to me after years of friendship. I was so upset that I went to stay at my parents' house until she went back home. The day of the cookout, the entire family was wondering where I was and why I wasn't there since it was my house too. The girl actually showed up and with her new boyfriend just to throw it in my boyfriend's face. Poor guy was obviously clueless about whose house he was at, and I'm not sure if he ever found out about it either. When the family saw the girl show up, they understood what was happening and why I wasn't there and proceeded to hound my boyfriend's sister about what she did. And instead of apologizing, she contacted me on Messenger and began verbally attacking me, saying how I'm ugly and not good enough for her brother, that I was insecure for not showing up to the cookout, and that I made her look like a total asshole in front of her family, and that I made a scene by not showing up. She said some other horrible things. My boyfriend is not good at confrontation and knew his sister would throw a tantrum in front of everyone if he had asked the girl to leave, so he kept quiet in order to keep the peace. When everything was over, he told her she wasn't allowed at our house anymore and to apologize to me, and she began verbally attacking him too. I don't know what to do at this point. She's made our relationship very difficult, and I honestly don't know if this is a family I'd want to join someday. I love my boyfriend very much. He's kind, patient, genuine, understanding, and literally the sweetest person. But his sister truly believes that because she's his sister, she should come before any girl in his life. And I don't know if I'm willing to deal with someone like that. He's gotten better at defending me and creating boundaries with her, but I feel like it's only made her hate me more. Am I really the asshole here? We got a boundary-stomping sister here. An absolute boundary-stomping sister. Sounds like the family was on OP's side, though, which is good. Shay says, yeah. Rich. F for feelings. Okay, your feelings, I'm not showing up. Sister is a huge chocolate starfish, Heather says. Let her hate you, Meg says. Don't leave the boyfriend because of her, though, Jennifer says, which is a good point. But I think if you are, this specifically ties to, or is addressed to the guys, because guys who have strong female personalities in their family are prone to having friction between your female partner, if that's what you choose, and you have to get comfortable with uncomfortable conversations in order to protect them, in order to create boundaries, and in order to prevent things like that from happening in the first place. So part of this, I think, is on the boyfriend for not stepping up and creating a boundary sooner, and he showed OP what the sister texted and said, F her feelings, I'm inviting her anyway. And he let it happen. So this is partially on him for allowing it to happen. I get that he's not comfortable with conflict. I get that he's not comfortable with these kind of awkward situations, but you got to get comfortable with it, because he's going to be dealing with his sister his whole life. And if he wants to have a successful relationship, he's going to have to learn how to create those boundaries. Now, OP sounds like she has some insecurities here to deal with anyway, because the fact that he had previous physical relations with these people, whether that has a bearing or not, I'm of the mindset that it's in the past. Like it shouldn't, unless there was more to it, unless there was something more recent, unless, depending on how much time went by, I don't feel like that should be an issue. So but I get being insecure about people who your significant other had previous relationships with, and they're just dating here. They're just boyfriend, girlfriend. They're not married. This is, how old are they again? 32. She's 32. He's 34. And the sister is 30. Shay, beard is trimmed up a little bit. Hair is cut. No longer long hair there. OP needs to be in it for the long haul. If boyfriend is a keeper, sis will get her dose of karma eventually. Julie says. Julia. Yeah, I thought they were younger too. This sounds like a younger Cupcake McGee says she thought they were younger. Yeah, this is teenage type stuff. Nursey Deer says adults dealing with teenage stuff. That sounds about right. Marty G, I am live. Thomas, thank you for subbing and becoming a member of the Storm. Appreciate that. Carla, thank you for the panda. Thank you so much. They are adults. Yeah, that was surprising, huh? I was thinking early 20s. Love only. Thank you for resubbing. Appreciate that. We're at 52 right now. Our current goal is to get up to 100. So if you're interested in becoming a paid sub, I think there's information in the app about what comes with that. We do have direct messaging as a capability with paid subscribers, and we have a VIP group on Facebook that we actually do talk to and give first looks at some things, some behind the scenes stuff that no one else gets to see, and we even get your feedback on some things before anybody else sees them. So it's pretty cool. Positive vibes only, Nicole. Lots of the hearts. Never caught the live. Jim Bob, well, welcome. Donna, thank you for the panda. Maurice for the fire. Thomas, thank you so much for the rose. And user 40428313 for the cat paws. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think part of this is on the boyfriend, because he's going to have to learn to deal with his difficult sister and prevent her from ruining his relationships, right? I mean, that should be a given here. He's going to have to learn how to do it. OP has some insecurities that I think made us all think that she was younger than she is. And sister's obviously crazy. But you can't control her. You can't control her from being crazy. You can only control yourself and what you allow to affect your relationships. And boyfriend here just allowed her to trample all over those boundaries. So maybe don't let her stay there in the first place. Maybe that's a good idea. Hey, 428313. Thank you so much for the TikTok there. And Jana, thank you so much for chasing the dream. Appreciate that. Thank you, Destiny. Appreciate that. Yeah, KM, you caught the live. Working Mom, 1977, caught a live. Gemini catching a live for the first time. We have a lot of first timers here. And Thomas said he likes the podcast. Thank you so much. Up above that, Tiffany, the ages were 32 and 34 for OP and her boyfriend, and 30 for the sister. No contact may be what they end up having to do, but he's got to be willing to do that. And I'm giving him probably more ownership to this problem than anybody. Nursey dear, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. Appreciate it. And Linda, thank you so much for the shiny air balloon, and Taco My Salad for the rose. Appreciate that. Marley says she found us through her 15-year-old listening to us on YouTube. Cool. Thank you. To recap the story, Mama G, it is OP is 32. Her boyfriend is 34. He's got a crazy boundary stomping sister who's 30, who wanted to invite some friends over to their house where she was staying as she was visiting to a barbecue. But these people were off limits because OP's boyfriend had previous physical relations with them. Sister said she didn't give a shit, basically, and invited them anyway. And boyfriend didn't stop it from happening. So OP didn't go to the cookout. And whenever this person showed up that wasn't supposed to be invited, but sister invited anyway, everybody knew why OP wasn't there. And then sister, I guess, got in trouble from family and blamed it all on OP, of course. But, I mean, she come what may, she chose her path. She said F her feelings, so. Marcy says, I say cut her out if she's that toxic. I would agree. Either she's going to learn how to respect boundaries and respect her brother's relationships, or no contact. Nicole says, I desperately need to tell you my crazy story. How can I get you to do a video of my story? You can submit your story at reddit-sedit.com. You can go through Linktree, which is linked in our bio, to get to the website to submit it there. That will get it into the system where we can actually review it. And we pull from that and from the Reddit Dusty Thunder community. You could also post it there. That will get it on our radar as well. There's no guarantee that we're going to use it, because there are some things that we just can't or won't get into and talk about, some just sensitive topics, or some things that if we got into are like community guidelines that if we go into, we have a higher risk of getting dinged for too. So we just have to be careful. Tia, thank you so much for the hat and mustache. User 428313 for the ice cream cone. Thank you. And another ice cream cone. Trying to fatten me up here, aren't you? Everybody. So here's, I think, one of the most shocking things for us, and maybe it's not that shocking, but to us it has been, is that everyone's got a story, right? And we should know that. We should know that everyone has a story, but how many people have been willing to share their story with us and send it in through the website it's been a shocking number. Shocking number. And we're still trying to find ways to handle that bigger volume, and using that Dusty Thunder Reddit community is one of those ways that we're now doing it. I think Candy Thunder threw up a couple of the follower submissions on that Reddit community today already. So you got to make sure you check that out. I'm not putting OP on the ascon scale at all. If anything, the boyfriend probably registers on there. I'm not going to actually do that to him. Brandy, thank you for the nachos. Taco My Salad, thank you for the chicken leg. And SWKKGKJ, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. I'm not going to officially put him on the scale, but he probably deserves to be there, and he's going to have to suck it up and toughen up and learn to defend his girlfriend, because someday he's going to have a wife that he's got to defend. Hey, Sarah S. officially, welcome. And Love Only is here as well. That buzzer sounds like the caregiver buzzer I use for my dad every time I hear it. I think he's buzzing. Sorry. That one noise, I have not figured out how to disable it in here. Every time I go disable it, somehow magically it's like, hey, I'm back. I'm back. Angel sent its corn. And Nana, thank you so much for the finger heart there. Boyfriend has the ability to prevent this from happening in the first place and didn't do it. He's nowhere near as big of an asshole as his sister is, but he has the ability to prevent this from happening, and he's going to have to suck it up and figure out how to do it. Boyfriend should have canceled the barbecue. Here we go, said. Agreed. Or just not let his sister, who he knew was a boundary stopper, to stay there to begin with. They had to make her agree to be respectful. And OP said she's known to be very rude. So she agreed to be respectful and then immediately was like, nah, just kidding. Shocker. Totally shocking that happened to everybody here, right? Apparently it was shocking to the boyfriend, his crazy sister's brother. Allie, I am good. How are you doing? Welcome here. Welcome. Nursey dear, yeah, it's the doorbell sound. Vonda, thank you so much for the microphone. Nana, thank you so much for the roses. Appreciate that. OP is original poster. Yes, Missy, you're correct there. Amanda, thank you so much for subbing and becoming a member of the Storm. We'll send out the invitations to that VIP Facebook group to all of you new members of the Storm here after the stream ends today. Weren't OP and the boyfriend's sister friends? No, I don't think so. I think they were friendly. Yes, she does talk about how that friendship has kind of been wasted, but I think sisters, closer friends, were the ones that OP had a problem with, and sister apparently didn't give a shit. D. Cooper, I do not. I have two sisters. I do not have a brother. I'm sorry. No brothers. Storyteller Moose says, how do you come up with the variations to AITA? The variations like the astronaut instead of spelling out the a-hole word. Astronaut is actually just a derivative from the ascon scale. So that's our new term. And we came up with a little astronaut that goes along with the ascon scale too. We'll roll that out here April 1st. But Vegas, Foxy Cab Wines, good to see you there. Love the delivery system. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Dream a little. Thank you so much for the lollipop. Appreciate that. Marcus says the sister is probably jealous of the relationships. You're probably right. So she just goes on destructo mode. Destruction. Make total destroy. Start to call her Galactus, destroyer of worlds. Is it destroyer or devourer? I can't remember. Okay, let me get a sip of jot and a sip of water here, and then we've got another story to dive into. OP's not on the ascon scale here. Probably sister skyrocketing straight through the scale. Boyfriend belongs on there somewhere. I'm not going to put him on there because I'm trying to give him the opportunity to get his shit together. Hey, Luna from Utah. Green Eyes, hello there from Tulsa. It's good to see you. Pam, that Facebook VIP group is for the paid subs from TikTok Live, and there should be some information about that at the top of your screen. I think bottom left, little star, the star thing. Oh, what have I done? I'm clicking on things I shouldn't be clicking on here. Yeah, I just closed my story out. Hold on. There we go. Now I'm back. Okay. Let me fix my view, and we will get rocking to the next story here. That was the cookout one. Yes. Okay. All right. Rebecca Bain. I said Brain. I'm so sorry. Rebecca, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. Appreciate that. Well, look at that. We're at 55 of 100 now. Look at you guys. Would you just look at that? I can't stop saying that. I know it's been forever since that was funny and a hot topic, but I just keep doing it. Green Eyes, you missed the stream for the last couple of weeks. I'm glad you're here now. So Twitch, we have talked about, the ultimate goal is to multi-stream to all platforms at once. In order to do that, I've got to get a stream key from TikTok, and stream keys aren't just like an automatic thing with TikTok. You got to go through the gauntlet. So they have a desktop program they they have you use first. Thank you, Nursey D. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. First timer, Nye Phillips. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We got kangaroos and koalas there with Kennedy from Australia. It's good to see you here. Thank you. Kara, thank you for sharing the stream. If you guys get a chance to share the stream, that is a big help for us. So thank you for doing that. Oh no, I've got a story to go into. This is coming off because it's hurting my brain. My brain hurts. Feels like it's getting ready to pop out my eyeballs or my ears or something. Getting rid of it. All right, we have another follower submission to read here, and this one came from the Dusty Thunder Reddit community. It is, am I the astronaut if I ban alcohol at my wedding? My 19 female fiance, 19 male, and I are getting married in June this year. Before you come at me for our ages, we have known each other for 7 years and were friends before we got together. For the sake of the story, I will call my fiance's dad father-in-law. Important background, I was taken from my bio parents due to them both being alcoholics, and my maid of honor is my bio aunt. My maid of honor has been sober for 8 years now, and I couldn't be happier for her. The problem comes down to my father-in-law saying that you can't have a party or wedding without alcohol. I strongly disagree with this fact. I believe that it depends on the group of people that you are with. Not only would it not be fair to my fiance and I who are under the legal drinking age, but I do not want to put my maid of honor in a position that would make her uncomfortable. I will give my fiance credit that he does stick up for me, but his dad tends to corner him and change his mind about things. He is aware of this and is working to change it. All couples have issues to work through, but for the most part, my fiance is wonderful and sticks by my side. So the question comes down to, will I be the astronaut for banning alcohol at our wedding? Any questions, feel free to comment. I will try to answer as many as I can. Also apologize for the writing format. I have ADHD and it tends to be expressed in my writing style. Me too. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Yeah, you can have a dry party wedding. Chuck 84 agrees there. They can't even drink. You're right. Yeah. I mean, your 19-year-old's getting married. I mean, most of the time, if you have booze at your wedding, it's not for you guys. It's for other people, right? Alice, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like the voice. Yeah, and they've got more reason than their ages for not wanting it there. It's a risk. It's a risk, not just generally speaking, but the inhibitions that can get lowered when people don't know how to control their alcohol intake can lead to a whole lot of drama, which you don't really want at a wedding, right? Jenna, thank you so much for subscribing. There was another one here while I was reading. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Also, mods, if you're on, I think you can pin comments to the top. And if that kind of thing happens, I think you can pin it for me to see. Oh boy, here, let me bounce over to activity. Pam, yes. Thank you so much for subscribing. We're at 58 of 100 now. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Jana, look at that with the unicorn, the ascon unicorn, the asconicorn. Is that what we call it? I don't know. Yeah, it's their wedding. They can do whatever the hell they want there, and everybody else is just there. Oh, we've covered this before, though. If parents are involved with paying for things, they've got to have some kind of say. Not ultimate decision, but input. Emily says, my husband and I kind of had this issue, so we just went to the courthouse. That's a safe play. Hunter Girl, thank you so much for the Appy 8 March. Appreciate that. It's not worth the insurance cost at venues, Bionic Wine says. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does complicate things, but they're 19. I mean, that's all we need to know is they're 19. Why is it okay to have a dry wedding when you aren't even of legal drinking age? Yes. And Ronnie, I agree. It's admirable that she was trying to protect her aunt. Man, it seems like they're having to deal with a lot of very adult things at 19. And, they made the decision to get married. That's where they are. Tony's like, your hair's all jacked up. Fix it. Thanks, man. I'll get Candy Thunder relayed that through. Thanks, Candy Thunder. Thanks for taking care of me. So I took my hat off and everything just went haywire here. Sorry. Y'all looking out for me. I appreciate that. Even in the story that I posted today, the reminder about going live, Candy Thunder was like, I can't see or hear anything over the little hair flips you have going on. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. My wife actually didn't buy this shirt. My good buddy Josh who bought this shirt, who is in the chat here as well, Josh Schmutz. This is a Zero Foxtrot shirt. It's actually pretty cool. It's a summer vibe shirt too. Yeah. That's what I look like in the mornings. The guy that's on the back of this shirt. And I just screwed my hair up again, didn't I? Sorry. I'm fixing it. Lord Midnight. Yes, thank you so much for subbing. Appreciate that. Thank you guys for staying on top of things for me here. John Bullock, thank you so much for subbing there as well. Angel, thank you for the llama and the rose. You guys are awesome. And the team here is awesome, taking care of me when I look all stupid. Bring on vacation, Josh says. Heck yeah. Linda, thank you. I appreciate that. It is a cool shirt. Josh has good taste. We get each other cool shirts sometimes. Josh, I got you the Winnie the Pooh shirt, right? The Honey Badger Winnie the Pooh. Anyway, okay, sorry. See, ADHD here. We got someone who wrote with ADHD style, and it immediately got me just flying at shiny objects. I don't think OP's the asshole at all here, or would be the asshole for banning alcohol. I mean, they think it's the right thing to do. And if there's a risk of drama that can ruin this day for you, then yes, hedge against it by not allowing it. Damn, Sarah, yes, we are posted up in Missouri here. Miss Smiles, you got us live. Heck yeah. Nursey dear Eeyore. Oh, bother. I'll just go over here. Fiber Fairy Filipina says, I cater for weddings and coffee bars instead of an actual bars becoming a trend nowadays. I could get down for that. Just a whole bunch of bottles of Jot back there, right? Shameless plug? Maybe. We're just a couple of hours south of Casey on the Missouri side. Yeah. Get all of our Chiefs Kingdom folk up here. Emma, thank you. Speaking of, thank you so much for the football helmet. Appreciate that. I mean, in their position, I'd have a dry wedding too. And, you know, if they want to have a reception where it's a smaller group of their friends, they can do whatever they want. Actually, they can't because they're only 19. So look at that. Chiefs fans here. Tyler, not in Springfield, but near there. Coffee at the wedding? Yeah, that would work. I'd be down for it. Okay, so that one, man, I don't know. How bad would it suck to be 19 years old, making the biggest decision of your life at that point and saying, we're going to get married. Like, we've known each other long enough. Let's do this thing. Let's make life work. And then immediately getting hit with this, you got to have booze there or it ain't a party. Like, well, you're right. It's not a party. It's our wedding. We're starting our life together here, and we'd rather not do it with a bunch of uncontrolled drama. Have the dry wedding. It's your call. And you know what? You kind of set the tone for the rest of your life here, too. And you create a boundary where you're saying, I'm not going to let your inability to control your alcohol intake interfere with my life. It would be a really smart thing to do right then, because then they know moving forward that, you know, events that you have or things that you're putting on that they better control themselves on, or they aren't going to get invited back. Chiefs. Milkshakes at the wedding. There you go. Nana Janet, thank you so much for the hair compliment. All that long hair went away. It was a giant pile of hair. You've been binging the compilations while you paint, Meg? Awesome. Yeah, compilations, which is something I have to bring up at some point here, but for those of you who don't know and haven't gotten to that side of what we do yet, compilations come out every Wednesday morning at like 6 a.m. Central Time, and that is on YouTube, but also on Spotify and all of the other podcast channels as well. The audio versions will push out through that way. So at least once a week, we've got new content coming out with a batch of the compilation stuff. So it's normally somewhere between like 45 minutes and an hour-ish of stories that are in that compilation. So that once a week, and then podcast we do once a month-ish. We're trying to get into a more stable rhythm with that. And if we can talk Tony Spark here into being our next guest, we'll get him worked in here soon. Mocktails. Woo! Now, every time I hear mocktails, I'm going to have to do the DuckTales little woo-woo thing to go along with it. I don't know. Okay. So we talked about this in the very beginning of the stream. I know there's some different people here now. Taco My Salad, the YouTube channel, if you search Dusty Thunder, you should be able to find it. It may be under Reddit Set It, but if you use the Linktree link in our bio, that's probably the easiest way to get there. And Linktree is, if you do, well, that's kind of tough to say. It's Linktree, but it's linktr.ee/Reddit Set It, and that will give you links to all of our stuff. All of it. On the swag side, whenever the Dusty Thunder stuff does come out, we talked a little bit about what kind of swag you want. Obviously, we'll have some kind of shirt. We've heard a lot about people wanting stickers. Is stickers something that you guys would want? And what would you want that to be? Would you want that to be the astronaut, or would you want it to be like the Dusty Thunder logo? Or what do you think? Luna found it with Dusty Thunder search. Awesome. Brandy has the theme song for DuckTales in her head now. You're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? Esme, it was good to have you here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Logo. Cool. Okay. I think we have to have an astronaut too. He's just too cool. Rose, thank you so much. Appreciate that. We may have to have just Beer Today says a red flag sticker. Yeah. The astronaut for the sticker, Andy t-shirt, but not white. Anything but white. Anything but a white shirt or white artwork. We need me as a Bluey character. The long lost uncle. It'd be like Uncle Rad, but not as cool as Uncle Rad. I'd be Uncle Dusty. Car magnets. That would be cool. I do think some kind of like cheap sticker that you can put on other people's cars whenever they park like assholes, or they drive like assholes, or they're just assholes in general. Putting those on their cars would be funny. Anything but white shirts. Got it. Okay, cool. We'll make sure we have a variety of colors available. The red flags need to come in a pack of 10. We talked about we talked about creating actual red flag confetti too, so you can throw it. Do your LeBron. Psh. Yeah. Sarah, I'm with you there. We'll make sure we have a variety of colors, and yeah, with white artwork, you'll be able to put it on anything. Ooh, Sarliton says, feel like the astronaut should have a beard. There was actually an animation that Shane on our team was working on where he gave him like a little face, but we ended up taking it out because the beard would either have to be like visible through the helmet or something. It's complicated. If I had the astronaut spacesuit on, you wouldn't be able to see my beard, which I think is which is further evidence for me to be able to order an astronaut helmet. Agreed? Candy Thunder? Is that an approved purchase? Astronaut helmet. We've talked about it before, and I think you guys said no, you shut it down, but I really want to get an astronaut helmet. A branded one, of course. Order the helmets, Sammy Baby says. Beer today, you'll have to help me. You'll have to help me convince Candy Thunder of that. Just a fake beard held onto the suit via an elastic band. That could work. That could definitely work. Make sure you have purple shirts. All right. We'll make sure we have, I think what we'll probably end up doing, and we experimented with spring for a minute, which their shipping times kind of confused me. Like, I have a shirt that showed up 2 days ago that I had placed an order as soon as we created that product, which was months ago. So their shipping stuff's a little bit weird. Their production batches are a little bit weird, but I'm sure once we get into a rhythm, it would be fine. But they have, like, you can make every color shirt available and just have the artwork there. Trademark Dusty Thunder look with beard. Connie, thank you so much. Appreciate that. If you put the sticker on windows or glass, no problem with the paint. Yeah, we can also look at doing a vinyl cling, like a vinyl kind of thing too. If it was a die cut, that way you could do it. We'd have to create a one color design, but it's doable. It's doable. We got designers here. We can knock that kind of thing out. We can do it. 5X shirts. Thomas, okay. We've gone up to 3X before. We'll have to see how far up spring can go, but we'll check it out. Kathy, thank you so much. Gloria, thank you so much for the panda. Appreciate that. Peggy Moore Savory, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate you loving the content. I talked about a fanny pack on here too. That's not really going to happen. I don't know. It could. I think it's one of the things spring has available, so we could actually do that kind of thing. All right, I'm going to jump into the next story with you here. This one is a follower submission, and it is, am I the astronaut for quitting my job over the birth of my grandchild? Am I the thunderhole for not wanting to miss the birth of my premature grandchild and quitting my job over it? My parents own a business, and I have worked there for over 20 years. I have said countless times that I didn't want to inherit the business. This business is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have done the job of 5 people for many years. I've been miserable and have said it so many times. Every time I have tried to set it up for others to take the weight off of me, my parent has done something to ruin it. I have been so stressed out. I can't walk away from my phone ever. One weekend that I was off, I answered 37 calls from work. If I miss a call, I get chastised for not caring enough to answer the phone. My parents said it needs to come first, and that I have always said my children and church are my number one priority in life. This has caused a fight many times. I have begged them to sell the company so I can get another job, and the parent refuses. So my daughter-in-law went into preterm labor, and her water broke very early. She had many complications in her first pregnancy and was terrified that I wouldn't be there as I took care of her after the first pregnancy. Sidebar note, I am very close with my daughter-in-law, and she wanted me with her. I would have done whatever she needed as I am not a monster-in-law. LOL. She was insisting I be there. Of course, I went to the NICU facility a few hours away with her and my son as she wanted and needed me. My parent chastised me again, saying I needed to go to work, that I didn't need to be there, that she could have had the baby without me. This infuriated me. I didn't blow up. Instead, I went to work driving there. I didn't blow up. Instead, I went to work, driving there after work and then back home so I could go back to work. One night after I got home, my daughter-in-law called and said, "Get here now. They can't stop it." I immediately left on no sleep and went there. Forgot to mention I was also juggling their toddler during this time. Oh, wow. The baby was having issues, so I didn't go to work the next day, which was a Friday. I got a hotel room and brought the toddler and juggled from there. The next week I went to work and they started screaming at me that I needed to get my priorities straight. I said, not today, not this week, as I was exhausted, running off very little sleep and stressed to the max. The parent didn't listen and kept yelling. I told them my children and grandchildren will always come first. It was said that if I didn't like my job, I should quit. I smiled and said, I quit. This sent them into a rage, screaming, yelling, calling me a spoiled brat. I said, this is your 2-week notice. I spent 2 weeks getting yelled at daily before my last day. Now I am getting the silent treatment, which is way better. I have been told I am selfish for leaving. I was offered another job making more money with less hours and less work immediately from another company. I feel like this was what was best for me and my children. It has been a month now since my daughter-in-law was shipped. The baby is still in the NICU getting stronger. I feel like I am right, but maybe I am the astronaut for leaving the family business. Man, I don't think so. It seems this is the danger with family businesses too, right? This is dangerous. Yeah, definitely not the asshole. I think we're probably all in agreement here. And even if it wasn't a family business, I can't think of an employer that wouldn't be okay with you missing for this kind of thing. And here at our agency, we obviously have to take care of business. We obviously have to do our jobs, but we try to make sure we give our team the freedom to take care of whatever family thing comes up. Like, it's just, yeah. And Nursey Dear, you make a good point there. It's kind of weird how she refers to the parent as the parent and doesn't really talk about the connection with the grandchild that they should have too, because it should be a great grandchild for them, and they don't seem to care at all. Yeah, relations are a little bit tricky here. But I think they have this mentality of, if you're going to work in the family business, it has to become your life. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be your life. What's the point of a family business if you have to sacrifice your family for it? You know what I mean? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Kirsten Brand says, my husband had his boss threaten his job if he took off to bury our son. Screw that. That's not a place you want to be anyway. Jana, thank you so much for the good night. Appreciate that. If that means that you're leaving us and saying good night, then good night. Thank you for hanging out with us. Cassie says, love this content. Relations are always tricky. Yeah, this one is tough, but I think in general, it being a family business makes it more complicated because she's been there for 20 years. And working with a family business, I think the structure of a normal job just doesn't exist. Like, they're going to call on you to do whatever they need you to do. And it's probably their way of having, I'm not calling it free labor, but an employee that they can treat however the hell they want and get away from the normal rules and parameters that exist for treating employees in certain ways. That doesn't apply whenever they're working with a family member. At least they don't think it does. They can do whatever the heck they want. And they don't care. They're ate up by this business. I think that's the point. And as a business owner, I mean, you have to be careful of that, but you got to remember why you're doing it. Like for us, it's in the beginning of owning this agency. I think as every young entrepreneur or young business owner is, I think you have these dreams of like, I'll know that I'm successful whenever I have a stunt plane and a Ferrari. Like that's like the vision that comes in your head. And then as you get older, you get wiser, and then success starts to take on different forms. And now it's like, if we can create a structure that allows us to spend more time with our kids and still be comfortable, that's success. It's not airplanes and Ferraris anymore. It's time, it's freedom, it's flexibility, it's that kind of thing. So, and they, as a family business, as the owners, don't understand that even. So I think they've just got their priorities all in a whack here. It'd be interesting to know what the business is. It's 24/7, whatever it is. So, I mean, it's a limited number of businesses that could be, but man, if a business is destroying your soul, it's not worth it. Kara walked out of her job after a manager made a mistake and tried to blame it on you. Yeah, screw that. I mean, there may have been another way around it, right? I mean, if it's a manager kind of thing, or if you're just stuck at that point, I get it. And if you're going through torture in a job, then you don't have to. There are always options. Mr. Lewis, yes, fresh cut. It's about a week old now, but I had a crazy amount of hair before, and it is all gone now. The owner doesn't want to pay more for more than one worker. Yeah, you're right. If she's doing the job of 5 people, yeah, why would they want to let her go? As your father, John Dutton. I thought about this for a second in the family business and about, when I said that means giving yourself completely to that family business and it becoming your life. It's a very much a Dutton kind of approach there. But even they know that the context is so that they can have the freedom to take care of their family, to have quality time with their family, to do that kind of thing. So the Shadowcaster was asked to pick people to fire during COVID, refused and got laid off 10 days later. There's this disconnect that I think happens specifically with big business because the people making the decisions are not the people who have to carry out the actions that come from their decisions. I think in bigger businesses, it's really common to have kind of that cold approach where it's all about the numbers and it doesn't matter. The human element of it doesn't matter. And the numbers still matter as a small business. They obviously matter. But in a small business where the people making the decisions are the same people who have to carry out the actions that come from those decisions and see firsthand what the ramifications are, it's different. It's different. We were actually having a conversation, Candy Thunder and I, about Sam's Club and about, as a company, they want to ask every person who comes through the door to show their membership card. But that's someone who is not at the door doing that kind of thing, making that decision, right? So the people who are actually there at the door having to check that thing probably feel awkward about it and try not to do it every time until they're forced to and reminded to and that kind of thing. But we had a big discussion about in bigger businesses like that, the people making decisions are not the ones carrying out those decisions. So Dusty Moira, Dusty Telemachus, Nicole, you so funny. Moira has not made an appearance here yet today in a story, but I'm sure she will. Telemachus is harder to do. Amanda says, my Popeyes manager told me Popeyes came before working on my marriage, so I quit the next day. You gotta remember what you're working for, right? And I think it's a very American mentality of us to work ourselves to death and to not realize what we're working for. But that has been changing. And maybe it's swinging too hard the opposite direction now to where we see a lot of people who don't want to work as much and just want to enjoy life. And we're trying to find a balance. I think that's where we're at as a society right now. We're trying to find a balance. But it's tough. It is absolutely tough. And I'm a workaholic. Candy Thunder will tell you that. But as long as I make sure that the time I am investing in the work that I do is advancing my missions in the right direction, then it's worth it. If I'm sacrificing family time to do stuff, it's not. So it's complicated, but family businesses are tricky. There's a donut shop here that is for sure a family business that I think everybody who's there is a family member. I just had a notification for user 826-177-425-848 subscribed. Thank you so much. We're at 60 now. Wow. Thank you guys. You're awesome. You're awesome. Linda, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. You have a good evening. You have the good evening. Yeah, OP, you are not the astronaut at all for leaving the family business because you were being taken advantage of. And hopefully now that you're in another gig with a non-family business, you see how you should be treated. But my concern right now is that coming from that family business where you were just run over and over again, your bar's really low for how you should be treated. So Desi Bay, right back at you. Hazel Love saw an employment lawyer on TikTok that advised against giving a 2-week notice. Interesting. Lori Jean, good to see you. Everything Lashes, thank you for the rose. Jennifer, thank you so much for the tiny diny. And another tiny diny. And another tiny diny. Bree, thank you for the cloud bread and the cat paws and the corn and the chili and the TikTok and the mini speaker and the ice cream cone. Thank you for that. And the enjoy music and the GG. Holy crap, you're loading me up here. And the soccer ball and the march and the football and the basketball and the rose and the tennis ball. Jessica, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate that. Oh, Kate, you had the rose there. Yeah, Kate, thank you. Taco myself, thanks for the tiny diny. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Joanne, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. All of you new members will get the invitation for the VIP Facebook group to you after the stream, and we'll also follow you back so you can do direct messages with us there. 61, hey yo, we like that. Corinne, thank you so much. Reckless Rolo says, how and why did you start reading Reddit posts? Hey, Marquez, thank you so much for the champion. Appreciate that. Hunter Girl, thank you for the mic. Times 12. Heck yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have you sorted a podcast out yet? Yes, absolutely. We have a podcast once a month. Or if you're asking about if Tony Spark has agreed to do it yet, he'll do it. He'll do it. Tammy Zingales, thank you so much for becoming a member of the Storm. We appreciate that. There was a question back up here. Oh, Reckless Rolo said, how and why did you start reading Reddit posts? That's all Candy Thunder. Actually, it's her and Ava. Our daughter, or one of our daughters, Ava, suggested that I do it. And they had talked about it for a while, for probably 6 months before I actually agreed to do it and did a test run. And if you go back and look at it, it was like August 17th of 22. That was my first video posted. And it was a, we'll just see how this goes. And it's just grown from there. So it's been very cool. Very, very cool. DK, it's good to see you there. Dana, looking forward to your posts. We've got so much cool stuff coming up. Marianne Dart, thank you so much. You're in Argentina. Awesome. We have such a broad base and a diverse base of people. It's so stinking cool. There was another post. Baby Boo, hey from Wyoming, love watching your post every day. Keeps me going at work. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Oh, Claire Bear, that's what it was. Thank you so much for the hair love there. It's been, my long locks are gone and I'm in summer mode here. Joanne says, hubby and I love your content. G'day from Australia. G'day, mate. Kara, Sturdy King had a question about joining the Storm. In the lower left-hand corner, you should see a little star that talks about subscribing, and it talks about the perks that are on there too. So you can just tap that and get some more information. Maurice, thank you for the taco and nachos and the guacamole. I see a theme going on there. You're making me hungry, man. Making me hungry. All right, it is 5:40, and we have a couple more stories to go here too. We have 2 more stories to go. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this one after I get a sip of water. I'm drinking so much Jot coffee and water that the bladder is filling up. That's how I'm going to know when it's time to end the stream, when the bladder is officially full. All right, this one is a follower submission, and it goes like this. Am I the astronaut for wanting to go on a camping trip without my in-laws? My husband, 31, and myself, same age, have 2 sons, 11 and 2. That's a pretty big gap in between them. I feel that. We've got a similar situation. We love to go camping and recently bought a camper to cut back on cabin expenses. We've been camping several times so far in it. However, that is without my in-laws following in their RV. Wherever we go, they go. My buddy, wherever I go, he goes, my buddy. Sorry, that was a tangent. Wherever we go, they go. I love my in-laws. I don't want that getting mixed up, and we have planned a camping trip already with them, especially to accommodate my brother-in-law who is wheelchair-bound. In the summer, we are going to a week-long camp trip where my oldest and I could do hiking, swimming, and outdoor activities like jet skis. It is in our zone, and we are excited. I told my husband I cannot wait to finally have a trip where it's the 4 of us being able to relax. When my mother-in-law found out it was booked, she wanted the name of the campground and the dates we were staying. I told her what we were doing will not accommodate bro-in-law as it's all outdoor. She then started to change plans up so it could accommodate him. I don't know how to tell my husband I'm not happy with him butting in and taking over, but I think he sees it when the topic is brought up. We enjoy our trips with them, but with the stress of being followed all the time, I just ask for this one vacation as just us. My son is upset as well that we won't be doing things that he wanted to do because it's not wheelchair accessible. Am I the asshole for not wanting them to come up on this trip? Oh, this is a touchy one. Jessica had on my buddy doll. I think I did too. I think I had on my buddy, or my sisters did. I'm not sure. Yeah, Julie, Candy Thunder's got you taken care of here with information on the ascon scale, but it was completely random, and we just based it on the DEFCON scale. Hey, Crystal, thank you so much for the hand arts. Appreciate that. So, not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole. No, it's a family trip, but they're family. The in-laws are family. It would be different if they never accommodated, but wanting one trip is not the asshole, Shay says. I would agree with that. Now, how do you communicate that? That's the hard part, right? And I get it's even more complicated because the brother has a disability and needs accessibility wherever they go. So there's a lot of extra homework that has to go into making sure those things are accessible. And of course you want to include them in everything that you can. Of course you want to include them in everything. But wanting to do those things that, like, feeling like they're restricted from doing some things because of those, the accessibility issue, I get it. I mean, you definitely don't want to do those kinds of things where he just has to sit on the sidelines, I guess, or maybe not even get to it, or maybe they split off during that time and you guys go do your own thing. But I get it; it complicates it for sure. But let's say that that's not the issue. Let's just say it's the in-laws, and they want to tag along on pretty much everything you want to do with your family, your direct family. Then you have every right to say this one's just for us. We need this one, just us. You have every right to say that and not have it be an exclusion kind of thing. There's a difference between excluding someone and trying to have quality times with your inner family. I don't know. What do you call that? It's not direct family. It's your immediate family. Kids need vacation too. You can't rearrange the whole vacation. Nursey dear, I agree with that. Communicating it clearly to husband so he can relay y'all's choice. Kay Dwyer says that's probably the tough part here, is that, it's in-laws. So I don't know what communication is like between OP and the in-laws, but this should be something that the husband goes to bat on. And it sounds like what she said she hasn't told him. She doesn't know how to tell him that she's not happy with him butting in and taking over, but she thinks that he sees it when the topic is brought up. That's not communicating it. There's got to be an open line of communication here between them two so he knows what he needs to do. Because if he's like me, like, I'm a simple dude. And if there's something that Candy Thunder wants or needs me to do, she knows at this point, because we've learned how to communicate through that if there's something she needs me to do, she's got to communicate that very clearly to me. Because I'm not going to be able to I'm not an empath, and I'm not going to be able to just kind of foresee what those needs are. So if she sees something that needs to be done and needs me to do it, she knows to be like, hey, this is what needs to happen. And then I've got a mission and I'm on it. That is painting a path to success. That is illuminating this path. That is a solution that I can provide, but only if she lets me know what it is. And same thing for him here. He probably should know. He should know what needs to be done and what the right thing to do here is, but she's going to have to learn how to communicate that very clearly to him and spell it out as simply as possible. Here's what I would prefer that we do. Here's the complication that we have. Kathy, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. And Hunter Girl, thank you for the sail away. Appreciate that. Thank you. Felicity says she could say, I love you guys and I love traveling with you guys, but we are looking forward to. Yeah. The one-on-one time with your kids. Yeah. She could say that. She could try to communicate this. I think at minimum, she's got to get hubby in the loop so that they can tag team this. They can tag team it. The name of this one, this was a follower submission, so you won't find it on Reddit or anything. It may end up on the Dusty Thunder Reddit community, but it is, Am I the Astronaut for wanting to go on a camping trip without my in-laws? Kay Dwyer, thank you for subbing and becoming a member of the Storm. Heck yeah. 63, baby. Boundaries, green eyes, you're right there. And this is the area where I think the hubby needs to buck up, but he needs to understand or be alerted that this is an issue. First of all, the conversation has to happen where OP says to husband, is there a reason that they have to come with us every time? And what do you think about communicating that to them and about arranging some times that are just for us? Like this time was supposed to be. Like, why are we allowing them to come join up with us every time? And he needs to be able to communicate with them, or at least do the tag team thing where they show up as a united front and say, hey, we love you guys. We love having you with us. We're going to go ahead and plan some adventures for us to do together. And then we're going to go ahead and plan a couple for us to do with just the kids, because we feel like our kids need that. And there's some things to do. There's some things that we really want to do that aren't accessible, and we don't want it to be that kind of complication. So, or we don't want brother to feel like he's being left out. So, it's possible. It is possible to communicate that. Hubby may just not know how to do that yet, but they can accomplish it if they do it together for sure. At minimum, OP can help him figure out what he needs to say to his parents to try to clarify this and start creating that boundary. Hey, Ann is in Manila, Philippines. It's good to see you here. She could say that we're catering to the kids this time. I think it's Terry says, if we don't subscribe, are you going to disappear from our FY? No, you mean talking about becoming a paid sub, Terry? No. No, there are some perks that you get as a paid subscriber, but you're not gonna lose it on content. We're not gonna go to a paid subscriber only stream or anything like that. No. If anything, we're gonna grow the amount of content that we do, probably on the YouTube side, and give the paid subscribers, exclusive access to that. But you're not gonna lose anything that you get your hands on right now by not subbing. You won't lose anything. You just get more when you do it. Do it. Pull a Chandler. Really sidestep that whole duties thing. Why would brother-in-law feel left out? It's normal to not include in-laws in everything. Megan, yeah, we live. We are live. We've been doing this weekly, Wednesdays at 4, so long as we don't get booted off for some silly reason. This is a touchy one because of the brother's complications. And I get it. It just has to be handled very delicately. And that may be what the issue with hubby in this scenario is. He may just not know how to approach it because of his brother. He may not want his brother to ever feel left out. There's a way to accomplish it. And if anything, maybe it's just planning ahead and saying, here are the ones we're planning with you guys, and here are the ones we're planning for just our group, so we can focus on the kids. There's the beautiful Candy Thunder again. Lightning bolt love for Candy Thunder. Said thank you, wifey. Terry. Look at that. It's just complicated. Michael, thank you so much for the hat and mustache. Appreciate that. I don't know. I mean, it's touchy no matter what angle you approach it from. It is complicated. And I think the first thing that needs to happen, OP, which this is a follower submission. So OP, if you happen to be in chat here and want to let us know. The first step here has to be a deep dive into a conversation about what your husband's position on this is, about what his feelings on this are, about, if he doesn't feel compelled to speak up on his own, why that is. And is it guilt because of his brother, which it absolutely could be, and that's understandable, but you need to identify what those factors are so that you can work around them and develop a plan that takes those things into consideration. Right now, OP, you're just trying to keep your mouth shut and hope that hubby picks up on your ire, which you're apparently radiating, even though you haven't brought it up specifically, and that's not fair to him. I mean, yes, in an ideal world, he'd be able to pick up on that stuff and you not spell it out for him, but there's no such thing as an ideal world. So, if he's anything like me and what Candy Thunder has to do for me, she has to spell things out for me and be like, I need you to do this. Or Why is it that XYZ? And if we know what the issue is, if someone points it out to us, we can be like, oh, well, it's because of XYZ. Or, oh, well, I could just do this, and there's an easy solution there. But it all starts with that first conversation about an uncomfortable subject. And that's where I think they're stuck here, is it's just an uncomfortable, awkward situation, and nobody wants to talk about it. Well, do you want to have a short, awkward conversation, or do you want to have a long life of awkward situations that you never put a stop to because you never had that one short, awkward conversation? And that's the whole thing with awkward conversations, is that normally they're there to prevent awkward moments from happening and continuing. And you have to decide which one is worth the time investment. It's worth diving into that short, awkward conversation because you're going to save yourself so much awkward pain later on. TikToker says, I have a handicapped son and we all need time away from the stress that it creates. Having a special needs child, I imagine, is, and I've heard, and we've read a lot of stories about the additional stress that can create. And that's tough. That's tough on everybody. Brother is how old here? Husband's 31. I don't think they talk about brother's age, but I'm sure he's an adult. Diane, thank you for the 21 roses. That's a lot of roses. Thank you. We do love those roses. I have to stay at the Rosebud Inn sometime. It is a little diamond in the rough. Reddit Eternal Go-Getter. Lazy Fisherman, I'm not sure if that's the one that you have submitted through the website. Then the first stop for those is Tony from the team. And you can actually kick an email to us. It is a Reddit. Oh, heck, I'm drawing a blank here. Candy Thunder, you may have to rescue me on this one. If someone wants to email us directly, what is that email? If you want to throw that up into chat. I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of things. Everything Lashes, thank you so much for the roses there. Much appreciated. But there are a lot of stories that come through, and we're developing better systems to try to handle that volume, but keeping track of them is tough. Does brother live with them? He doesn't live with OP, he lives with the parents, it sounds like. Yeah. KSWS, thank you so much for the donut and the pizza. Everything Lashes, thank you so much for the hand heart. Appreciate that. Nancy becoming a member of the Storm for the very first time. Thank you so much, and welcome to the fold. Appreciate that. I need to come up with some kind of sound effect for someone joining the Storm too. Some kind of lightning crashes, something like that. Everything Lashes, thank you for the balloon. Taco My Salad, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Nursey Deer, 35. Well, 65. Wow. Heck yeah, we're making some movements here today. We're moving some mountains. So before we dive into this next story, I think we need to make an official verdict here. I think where we're agreeing is that OP is not the asshole at all. Jennifer, thank you for the boxing gloves. Hunter Girl for the air dancer. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Desi, thank you for the rose. Jenner, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. The Sound of Thunder. That would be good. Yeah. I really wish we could use like AC/DC or Imagine Dragons. They both have really good thunder songs that I would love to use as we start the stream up. But alas, I don't really want to get sued or pay $1 bajillion to license that music. So, Diane, thanks for the cap. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So no ascon scale activity for OP here. You're not an asshole for wanting to go on that trip. There probably is definitely an asshole way to go about communicating it. But for sure, not for wanting it. You just have to be careful how you approach this. And I think the beginning step is to just do a deep dive, real conversation about where your hubby's at and what his feelings are and what prevents him from wanting to stop it or bringing it up on his own. Yeah. Okay. Last story alert. Here we go. It's the last one. I'm going to take another sip of water and hope my bladder doesn't burst. If it does, I won't tell you, and you can't see it in the shot anyway, so you'll never know. I might have a weird look on my face as I relieve myself, but I will not tell you. All right, this is a follower submission and is our last story for the stream here. It is, am I the astronaut for kicking my best friend of 17 years out of my wedding party? Oh, wedding drama. I love me some wedding drama. This gets so spicy so fast. I, 23 female, have been best friends with this girl, 24 female, since kindergarten. We have always talked about being in each other's weddings since we were little kids. She was practically family to me, so when the time came, I was super excited to ask her to be my maid of honor. Everything was fine until it was time for the dress fitting. I had gone earlier than the girls to pick out my dress, and while I was there, I picked out the dress for the bridesmaids. I sent a picture of the dress to our group chat, and I sent a picture of the dress in our group chat to ask what they thought, and they all loved it, but she didn't respond. She texted me separately and asked that since she was the maid of honor, that she have a different style and color of dress than everyone else. You can tell where this is heading already. I told her I would think about it, but I really would like for them to all wear the same dress. Day of, I was running late because of an accident. I told them to start the fitting and send me pictures. I found out from one of the other best friends that she took it upon herself to tell the woman that I said she could have a different dress and that she could pick it out. All right, we'll go ahead and get this started here. Yep. There are them flags. When I got there, she told me she had already tried on her dress and didn't want to change again. Oh, so sneaky she is. I told her that I thought about what she asked me and I decided that she could not get a different dress than the other girls. She was silent and mad, and after a few minutes, she left. The stylist told me to let my maid of honor know she needed to order her dress earlier than the date she told the others, and as she is bigger than them, the size she needed would take longer to arrive. I sent her a text to let her know, and all she sent was a thumbs up. I left it alone and prayed that this would blow over. Months had gone by, and no one had heard from her. She bailed on the other bridesmaid who was planning the bridal shower. They were supposed to be planning it together so they could split the cost. I texted her to see what was up, but didn't get a reply. When she finally got around to it, she made me aware that she had not ordered her dress yet. The wedding was 2 months away at this point. Everyone else had their dress. And that she would be attending my shower. I didn't answer. I talked it over with the bridesmaid planning the shower and bachelorette trip and decided that I would be replacing her as my maid of honor. I sent her a private message to let her know, no response, which I expected. But it didn't end there. She made petty comments throughout the shower like, I would like, but I'm not maid of honor. At a certain point, I shot back and asked if she even had her dress yet, as there's only 1 month left now. She said she was planning on buying it the next weekend, but that she would not be wearing the heels because she didn't want to. I texted her the next weekend and asked about the dress again, and she had another excuse and then picked a fight about the shoes again and about me switching who the maid of honor was. I responded saying that she had done nothing to help me or the others in planning of any of the events, and that I gave her a whole year to order the dress. And because she was mad at me, she didn't get her way. And because she was mad that she didn't get her way, she didn't order it and was now out of time. At this point, I told her that I did not want her in the wedding because she was not going to just buy whatever dress she wanted because it was not her wedding. She said that I was selfish, amongst other things, and informed me that she would not be there at all. I was upset because I thought of her as a sister and I wanted her to be there, but I was furious that she threw a fit because she didn't get her way. We have since made up and I feel bad, but I don't regret it now. She still says that I was selfish for not letting her get what she wanted. So am I the astronaut for kicking her out of the bridal party? Hell no! Why? I'm a dude and I get it. Why on earth anybody involved in a wedding at all tries to take anything away from the bride, tries to create additional stress, tries to have something different just for them. I would not look great in that color. I really think something more of a chartreuse with my Jimmy Choos. Whatever, dude. You're going to wear what you're told to wear. You're a member of the bridal party. You don't get to decide. The bride gets to decide. If you want to be a part of it, you follow the rules. If you pitch a fit and want unique treatment, wait till your own damn wedding. And that's probably what the problem here was. They agreed that they would be in each other's weddings as kids and who got married first. So Grumpy Troll here decided she was going to pitch a fit and want special treatment. And when she didn't get special treatment, was just going to take her ball and go home. and wait till it was too late to get the dress she was supposed to get and have to buy something else. That was the plan. But OP's smart and also had some spies to fill her in on things and put a stop to it. So the fact that they're friends again is shocking to me, especially because Grumpy Troll here says that she was still selfish for not letting her get what she wanted. It's not her damn wedding. Why does she? It's not about her. It's not about her. When it's her wedding, it'll be about her. I don't get it. I do not get it. And it's like, when people are doing this, do they not realize what they're doing or why they're doing it? Maybe that's the case. Maybe they just don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. And they just can't explain the feelings that they're having. But I assume that they can. I assume they know why they're having the feelings that they're having, and they just do nothing to stop them, which is horse shit. I'm shocked that they're friends again. I think OP would be in the right for not having this person in her life anymore, because every big moment that she has before her, she's going to try to shit on, apparently. Do you really want someone like that in your life? Who's not there to celebrate the journey with you, but is there to shit on things that you accomplish first? Besties. Besties for life. Ivy, thank you for the money gun. I almost said Maria, and I think I said your name wrong earlier. Maira. Myra? Thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Man, it drives me crazy. I'm a dude, and this pisses me off because it's so transparent, and yet people still try to pull this shit all the time. People messing with brides and weddings, and people messing with pregnant women. I'm like, what are you doing? Why? What are you doing? Why? But they do it all the time. People be crazy. No, OP, you're not the asshole for kicking her out of the bridal party. I'm surprised you didn't kick her out of your life. And I think that may still need to be an option. You're going to need to keep an eye on her, because guess what? Whenever you tell her that you're having a baby, she's going to find a way to shit on that too. And everything else you accomplished later in life. Hey, Michael, thank you for the guitar. I appreciate that. I don't know. Just pitching a grumpy fit because you don't get your own unique way doesn't make any sense at all. Manders, thank you for the tiny diny. Appreciate that. Joe, thank you for the Tucker the turkey. Well, thank you. Got me a turkey today. Yes, and the bladder is really about to burst. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with you here. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube to catch the random surprise live streams that I've been doing there. It's either Sunday night, Monday night, or Tuesday night. Can't say which because I don't know until it happens. We're now posting some follower-submitted stories to the Dusty Thunder Reddit community. Make sure you tell Tony how much you would love to see him on the podcast. Compilations come out every Wednesday morning on YouTube, Spotify, and all the other podcast channels. And, of course, thank you to the entire team here at Stormcloud Marketing for all their work on the Dusty Thunder project. And thank you to you for supporting this crazy adventure. You are definitely not the astronaut in my book. See you soon, and let's go ahead and dance away our goodbye here. I just peed for 87 years. Had to pee so bad I didn't even end the stream. I was just like, I gotta go. Did the pee-pee dance the whole way there. So here's your encore. Those of you stuck around, yeah, I am back. We're not reading another story. I'm just came back to thank you for hanging in there and hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for joining the streams. We are going to keep doing this every Wednesday at 4 p.m. so long as we can. And be sure to check us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe there and enable notifications so you can catch us live there too. They are surprise lives, so who knows when it'll happen. But they have been between 1 and 2 hour long streams, so it is a good time. And you get kind of a heads up. You get a heads up about the stories that are coming up, because that is the recording session that we use to record the stories that are then posted. Yeah, my disappearing crick. Heck yeah. Joining the streams, yes. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate that. We will see you next Wednesday for another live, or actually before then if you catch us on YouTube, and we'll see you tomorrow with another post. So, Dusty Thunder out. Thanks again. Appreciate that. I'll never say that again. Dusty Thunder out was a stupid thing to say. I'll never do that again. Sorry, Candy Thunder. I know that was embarrassing. Thanks, guys. I apparated. Oh, man.